Blame! You wake up in a corridor that stretches beyond comprehension. Metal walls rise into darkness, their surfaces scarred by millennia of decay. This is the city, a structure that has consumed Earth, possibly the solar system itself. You are an unauthorized life form here, hunted by safeguards whose silicon bodies move faster than your eyes can track. The builders are gone. Their creation continues without them, expanding endlessly through automated construction that lost its purpose eons ago. You wander through chambers vast enough to hold weather systems, through maintenance shafts that span continents. The few humans you encounter speak languages evolved so far from yours that communication becomes another impossibility. Your footsteps echo in spaces where gravity itself seems negotiable. Every door could lead to vacuum, to furnaces, to chambers filled with hostile silicon life. The net terminal genes that could grant you citizenship, that could call off the endless hunt. They're a mutation lost generations ago. You will walk until your body fails. Your descendants, if any survive, will walk after you. The city grows faster than you can traverse it. There is no outside anymore. There never will be again. The megastructure is all and you are nothing. A contaminant in its perfect, pointless sprawl. The road. You push the shopping cart through ash that falls like snow in nuclear winter. Your child walks beside you, trusting, though you've already decided. When the last can is empty, when the final match burns out, you'll use the revolver. One bullet for them. You'll face what comes after alone. The world died years ago in flames you barely remember. Now only the aftermath remains. Trees like blackened accusers, rivers choked with corpses, roads leading nowhere through nothing. You've seen what hunger does to people. You've hidden in cellars while they passed overhead, hunting for meat that walks on two legs. Your child asks if you're still the good guys. You say yes, but you've already taught them to hide from other humans, to trust no one, to leave the starving to starve. The shopping cart holds your last pretense of civilization. When its wheels finally break, you'll carry what you can and abandon the rest. Another mile marker in humanity's regression. There's no rebuilding from this. The biosphere is dead. The sun struggles through perpetual overcast. Even if you found clean land, no seeds would grow in this poisoned earth. You're not traveling toward hope. You're simply postponing the inevitable. Each day a fresh cruelty inflicted on a child who deserves better than this slow dissolution into darkness. Event horizon. You thought you understood space. Vacuum, radiation, the honest dangers of exploration. Then you boarded the event horizon and discovered that humanity's greatest achievement had punctured something that should never have been touched. The gravity drive didn't just fold space. It folded reality itself, diving through dimensions where physics becomes theology, where suffering achieves mathematical precision. The ship shows you things, not hallucinations. That would be merciful. It shows you truth through wounds in space-time. You see your crew members' futures, flesh peeled in geometric patterns, eyes arranged in fractal displays, consciousness stretched across eternities of precisely calibrated agony. The Latin in the log translates, "Save yourself from hell." But hell isn't a place. It's a frequency the drive core reached. Your crew turns on each other, not from madness, but from clarity. They've seen where you're going. The ship's creator gouged out his eyes, but you understand? He was trying to stop seeing what remains even when you close them. The bulkheads bleed. The air tastes of copper and burnt synapses. You could destroy the ship, but the knowledge remains. Humanity knows how to build these drives now. The equation exists. Someone else will solve it, build it, activate it. You've proven that hell is real and reachable through applied physics. Every future mission carries this possibility, that reaching for the stars means risking damnation measured in parsecs. Berserk, you believed in him. Through every battle, every impossible victory, you followed Griffith toward a dream that seemed to justify any sacrifice. Then the Crimson Behelit activated, and you learned that you were never comrades. You were currency, carefully accumulated for this moment of transcendence. His, not yours. The eclipse transforms the world into an abattoir of symbolism. Your brothers and sisters in arms become materials for apotheosis. Apostles, beings that traded their humanity for power, descend like antibodies protecting a terrible birth. You watch faces you've laughed with, fought beside, loved, consumed in architectures of meat and meaning. Their screams harmonize into something almost musical. Causality itself conspires here. Every choice that led to this moment was predetermined, each act of free will an illusion guiding you to this altar. The God Hand speaks of necessity, of humans as stepping stones for beings that transcend flesh. You're not even victims. You're ingredients. Survival means bearing witness to absolute betrayal. It means knowing that every hero's journey might be someone else's path to damnation. The brand burned into survivors marks you as sacrifice interrupted. Demons will hunt you forever, drawn to finish what began here. You escaped the eclipse, but you'll never escape its logic. That ambition justifies apocalypse, that dreams devour dreamers, that the universe rewards those willing to pay in other people's blood. Silent Hill. You came here looking for answers, but Silent Hill doesn't provide resolutions. It provides mirrors. The fog that swallows the streets isn't weather. It's psychic tissue, breeding nightmares from your subconscious sediment. Each step deeper into town is a step further further into yourself, and you're discovering that your inner landscape is hostile territory. The radio static announces their approach. Things that wear flesh like ill-fitting clothes, jerking through movements that parody life, but they're not random. That nurse's face twisted in permanent scream? That's your mother's disappointed silence given form. The creature dragging itself on stumps? Your cowardice when you could have acted should have saved them. Streets rearrange themselves based on your guilt. Doors lead to memories you've suppressed, rooms furnished with your failures. The town doesn't judge, it simply reflects, amplifying every moral compromise until the architecture itself becomes accusatory. You solve puzzles crafted from your psychological debris, each solution another confession. There's no defeating Silent Hill because there's no defeating yourself. Even if you escape, you'll carry its logic with you. That reality is negotiable, that guilt has gravity, that every unexamined trauma is a god waiting to be born. The fog follows you home, seeping through the cracks in your certainty. You'll spend the rest of your life checking shadows, wondering if that shape in the corner is furniture or another piece of yourself made manifest, hungry and patient. Warhammer 40K. You were born into the 41st millennium, where humanity spans 1,000,000 worlds and dies on everyone. The Imperium promises protection, but you understand the mathematics. You're not a citizen, you're a resource. Your life expectancy is calculated in production quotas. Your children, if the rationing allows them, will inherit your designation and nothing else. The cathedral factories where you labor feature skulls in their architecture, not as warnings, but as inspiration. Death in service is the highest aspiration. You recite prayers to an emperor who's been corpse-locked on his throne for 10,000 years. His psychic scream, the only thing holding back dimensions of predators. 1,000,000 souls feed him daily. You've done the math. Your turn will come. Technology is ritual now. Understanding replaced by rote memorization. The machines you operate might harbor murderous AI from humanity's golden age. The space lanes you depend on traverse a hell dimension where thoughts have teeth. Your protectors, the Space Marines, are post-human nightmares who see you as acceptable casualties. Your government tortures logic from profits and calls it planning. Progress is heresy. Hope is inefficiency. You will die on this world, in this role, having changed nothing. The galaxy's other species aren't better. They're different flavors of extinction. The Imperium will last forever because it's too broken to die properly, too vast to reform. You are 1 second of suffering in an eternal scream, and that's the best humanity can offer. The mist. You thought the mist was weather until you heard the screams. Now you're barricaded in a supermarket, watching shadows move in ways that violate anatomy. The Arrowhead Project tore something, and through that tear flows an ecosystem that makes Earth's food chain look like gentle philosophy. You're not survivors. You're an invasive species being corrected. The things outside operate on different physics. Acid web spinners the size of dogs. Tentacles that probe window gaps with obvious intelligence. And worse, the sounds of larger things. Footsteps that shake the building, suggesting hierarchies of predation you can't comprehend. Earth's apex predator status was always provincial. You're meeting the universe's real owners. Inside isn't safer. Fear ferments into religious mania. Your neighbors, people you've shared barbecues with, now speak of human sacrifice to appease cosmic forces. They're not wrong about the cosmic part. The mist doesn't just hide monsters, it's their atmosphere, transforming your world into theirs. Every breath you take is collaboration with your replacement. The military's attempt to close the tear might have made it permanent. The mist spreads without wind, following rules you'll never understand. Even if you escape this store, where would you go? How far has it spread? You measure hope in hours now, not years. The Earth is becoming something else's planet, and your wildlife in a preserve no one's maintaining. Your species' reign is ending not with war or plague, but with irrelevance. SCP Foundation. You've spent years believing the Foundation's lie secure, contain, protect, but you've read enough Keter-class files to understand the truth. You're not protecting humanity, you're delaying inevitabilities. Every containment breach brings cascading failures. Every neutralized anomaly teaches others how to resist. The database grows because the anomalies are winning. SCP-2317 isn't contained. It's appeased with rituals that will fail within decades. SCP-3125 exists in human thought itself, spreading through understanding. The pattern. Screamers wait in the spaces between atoms. You catalog horrors, gods trapped in concrete, viruses that rewrite reality, simple objects whose touch unravels causality. Your amnestics can't erase the knowledge that for everyone you contain, 10 more manifest. The O5 Council makes decisions from bunkers outside spacetime. They've seen the probability curves. Humanity's survival requires increasingly monstrous choices. Cities sacrificed to prevent countries falling. Memories destroyed to prevent concepts spreading. You're not researchers anymore. You're priests of a failing church. Your labs are altars where you negotiate with physics gone malignant. The Scarlet King rises. The factory produces. The flesh that hates grows. Your classification system is humanity's obituary, written in installments. Each day brings new entries, new things that shouldn't exist but do. The universe isn't just indifferent, it's actively hostile to consensus reality. You document the end, knowing that eventually something will breach that can't be contained, and your final entry will be data expunged. Samurai Jack. You remember honor, justice, the weight of your father's sword, but that was 50 years ago, or 5,000. Time moves strangely when you're displaced from it entirely. Aku's portal didn't just throw you forward, it severed you from hope itself. The future you landed in isn't waiting to be saved. It's already digested by darkness. The world bears Aku's face now. Mountains carved into his likeness leer from horizons. Cities pulse with malevolent architecture, spires that twist like screams. The people don't resist anymore, they worship. Generations have passed under his rule, and freedom has become mythology. Children learn prayers to chaos. Your name, when whispered at all, is spoken as fairy tale. You've fought his armies, toppled his lieutenants, inspired brief flickers of rebellion. But every victory is temporary. Every rescued village burns within the year. Aku doesn't rule through fear, he rules through inevitability. He is the shape the future took, and you are an anachronism trying to carve hope from stone. The portal home exists somewhere in a possibility Aku guards like a jealous god. But you understand the truth. Even if you found it, even if you prevented this timeline, it wouldn't erase what you've seen. You've witnessed evil's patience, its willingness to corrupt slowly, generation by generation. The future isn't punishment, it's promise. Darkness doesn't rush. It waits. The Black Farm. You died expecting judgment, expecting fire, perhaps nothing. Instead, you wake up in coveralls with a number stitched where your name used to be. Welcome to the Black Farm, where damnation has been industrialized, where suffering operates on quotas and eternal torment follows a production schedule. Hell learned efficiency from humanity. The fields stretch beyond every horizon, planted with crops that grow from processed sin. You harvest regret like wheat, thresh guilt into usable grain. The overseers, things that used to be middle management, explain the mathematics. Your output determines your housing, meals, position in the endless production line. Suffering has become renewable resource, and you are both farmer and fertilizer. The machinery runs on screams refined into fuel, prayers distilled into lubricant. Your quota increases daily because the universe's demand for torment grows. The lakes of fire were inefficient. Too much energy waste, too little useful work extracted. The Black Farm maximizes everything. Pain per acre, despair per calorie, hopelessness per work hour. Promotion is possible, they tell you. Work hard enough, break enough others, and you might join the overseers. Some coworkers have been here since civilization began. They describe the old hell with nostalgia, back when torture was artisanal. Now you clock in, clock out, sleep in dormitories designed by efficiency experts. Eternity has a shift schedule. The Nightland. You stand on the observation deck of the last redoubt, humanity's final fortress in an earth grown cold and strange. The sun died eons ago, taking hope with it. Outside the pyramids' protecting force, absolute darkness presses against humanity's last light like a living thing. You were born here, as were your parents, for 20 million generations. The Nightland has patience spanning geological ages. The Watchers report movement in the darkness, things vast and patient that have learned to mimic geography. The House of Silence grows larger each century, though no one sees it move. The giants occupy the valley where London once stood. Their fire's the only light in a world that has forgotten sunrise. Your instruments detect abhumans prowling closer, creatures that were human once before darkness taught them new forms. The earth force that powers your refuge weakens with each generation. The elders calculate centuries remaining, but you know they're being optimistic. The machines require resources your ancestors exhausted millions of years ago. You rebuild with salvage and prayer, patching systems designed by extinct civilizations. You monitor the night watches, counting things that shouldn't exist. The hounds track scents across time itself. Love still exists here. Couples marry, children are born, but every joy is tempered by arithmetic. The years of power remaining, the mathematics of extinction stretching ahead. The Nightland doesn't hate you. It simply knows everything ends.
Subscribe for more interesting stuff. Tell us your experience in the comments.